everyone, I'm Chantal with Wildberry Studio, and today I have this massive box from Blick. Well, Blick is the name of it, and oh gosh, it is a big one. Now, it may not look like that huge, but this was a massive order and way more than I normally would spend, but it is a resupply of things that I'm going to need and maybe a little bit of panic buying before all the tariffs raise prices on everything. So I'm going to put you into the downward position and let's hop right into this. All right, here it is, my big old box. Let's go ahead and slice it open. Woo, hope I didn't just cut something. It is packed up to the brim. So I see a bag in there that I might have just cut a little bit, but hopefully that's just packing. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like it was just packing. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna move this off to the side and then pull it out just a little bit at a time for you. All right, so first things first, we have this unassuming little white box of happiness, and it is full of beautiful, beautiful paints. So I've got lots of Winsor Newton here. This is New Gamboge. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see them better. We've got New Gamboge and Winsor Red and Scarlet Lake, Van Dyke Brown, Winsor Lemon, and a little bit of a beat up Winsor Blue green shade. All right, so let's see. These ones are all reorders for me. I had smaller tubes and I had tried out a set of smaller tubes, and these are all ones that I really liked and I want to keep on my palette. And since those smaller tubes are empty and my palette is starting to get a little bit low, I got more of these ones that I knew I would want to keep on there for later. And then these are ones that I wanted to try out. I have not tried out the Van Dyke Brown at all yet. And well, other than just what was on the swatch card. And the Winsor Lemon, I had, I can't remember what the lemon was that I had on there. It might have just been Winsor Yellow. But I decided I wanted to try Winsor Lemon so I'd have a little bit more of a cool yellow, cooler than the one that I have currently. And I thought this would be a good one to try out. I was kind of torn between this and the cadmium-free lemon, but this one ended up being significantly cheaper, if I remember correctly. And I thought, I'm not completely sold one way or the other. I'll go ahead with the cheaper one since I'm not sure. All right, next up, another beautiful little white unassuming box full of happiness. All right, it has a few less, but still some good ones. This is Winsor Red Deep and Permanent Sap Green and Permanent Rose. Now, I already have the Permanent Rose and the Permanent Sap Green, and I like both of these very much. Wanted to keep them on my palette. Again, was running low and decided to get some more. And then the Winsor Red Deep is one that I wanted to try out. It's just such a beautiful color, and I thought it'd be really nice to sample it and, well, not sample it. I got a big old honking tube of it, but I thought it'd be nice to try it and see how I enjoy having it on my palette. Okay, that's not all though. Here, I've got a little baggie of sketching happiness. And let's take a look at these. Now, these are some mechanical pencils that were clearanced on Blick, and they're discontinued. They are from Alvin. When I looked them up, they seem to be considered pretty good, like really good. They're like kind of like draftsman's pencils, but these are 0.9 millimeter lead, which I really enjoy a thicker lead. Typically by thicker lead, I mean 0.7. I don't know that I've ever tried a 0.9 before, but I thought it would be fun to try it out. I don't know how well you can see it, but that is a pretty thick lead on that pencil, and you might not actually be able to tell, but this, I would almost say that the standard is more of a 0.5. So 0.7 is a little bit thick and 0.9 should be kind of chunky. And I'm excited to try these out and see how I like them. And I got a little eraser pen, which I thought would be fantastic. This is from Stettler, and it says Mars plastic on it. I don't know why it says Mars on it, but that's weird. Maybe it's a Martian pen, a Martian eraser. But it feels like a pretty good eraser, and I'm excited to try it. My go-to is these little kind of tan colored erasers, and I can't remember who makes those. I'll have to show them to you guys in a different video, but they're just the little brick erasers, and I kind of like something that has a little bit more of an edge that I can be a little bit more precise and exacting with. So I thought it would be good to give this a try. It has a good weight to it too. All right, look, more paint. Paint is the happy stuff, so I am very excited about paint. Now, I will say this little box of paint, oh gosh, that does not want to open, does it? Try not to hurt myself on camera. Well, hurt myself at all. I don't really want to be hurt, whether it's on camera or not, but I'm sure you guys don't want to see that either. Oh, look at this cute little box. It just opens up like that. Okay. We've got cadmium yellow deep and quinacridone lake. This one is green gold, ultramarine deep. Oh, blah, 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 blah. That was difficult to say. Ultramarine deep and Payne's gray. Now, I was going to kind of refill my amount with, go in and get some more Payne's gray because I'm running low on that as well. But I normally use the Winsor Newton. However, this little set came with all of these very decently sized tubes. There's only, let's see, these are 14 mil, and these little tubes are 12 mil. So there's very little difference between them. But I figured I was going to get more Payne's gray, and I also wanted to try an ultramarine. And the price for getting two of the Winsor Newton, those two as Winsor Newtons, was, I believe, slightly more than getting this full set of MaimeriBlu. And I've been wanting to try out some more MaimeriBlu paints. I really enjoy the ones that I have. So I figured I'll go ahead and try out their Payne's Gray and their Ultramarine Deep. And then these three would all be bonuses that I get to try out and see what I like. And I did kind of want to pick up a cadmium yellow. I've been avoiding cadmium and cobalt colors, but I did a little bit more research and I don't think that they're, I don't know, from what I've read, I don't think they're actually that dangerous as long as you are handling them responsibly. And of course I will be, and I won't be using those colors exclusively all the time. Like I've got all these other colors to use. So the little bit of times that I use it, I don't think it'll be an issue with what I read about it. But so I wanted to try a cadmium yellow, and that's why I picked that one up. Or, well, that's why I was excited to see that one in the set. And of course, a quinacridone. This is kind of like I think this is going to end up looking like a quinacridone magenta, which I was also wanting to try. And then green gold. I already love green gold and keep it on my palette, but as Winsor Newton. So this will give me an opportunity to see the difference between the MaimeriBlu and the Winsor Newton of the green gold. Don't forget, if you are enjoying this video, please remember to hit like and subscribe. It really helps me out. All right. There's all of my beautiful, beautiful paints. All right, let's move them off to the side. And this is probably where it's definitely where like at least half of the money fell in on this alone. So if you know, you understand, these are not cheap. But I got not one, not two, but three of these Arches sketchbooks, sketch pads. These are what I've started with, but what I really like. I have these, and then I've got two different ones that I keep in one in my like art purse that I carry on when I'm going out to go try and do plein air painting or something, which I've only done once so far. And one in my regular purse, and I hardly use those at all. Even when I went out plein air painting, I ended up grabbing this guy and bringing him with me instead of the sketch pad that was in my purse. So what does that tell you? It tells me that I really enjoyed these ones. And I know that some people might shy away from them because they see that there's only 15 sheets of paper in here. But I split my sheets in half, and then I also paint them front and back. So ultimately I'm getting 60 paintings out of these, sometimes more if I do a study of like a whole bunch of different things on a page, which I typically do at some point, but while I'm using them. So I still feel like I'm getting quite a bit of money's worth out of that, and they're just really good paper. So I'm also improving every time I use them. And like I said, that's where a lot of it came, the expense came from, is this Arches paper. And again, I got not one, oh gosh, not two, but three of these larger 9x12. They're not blocks, they're just pads, I guess. I don't know. They're not really sketch pads either. I don't know what you call them, but packs of sheets of paper. And that is, yeah, that's where all the money was in all of this Arches stuff. Okay, I just thought it'd be kind of fun to lay all of this out to show which ones are replacing. And as you can see, my tubes are pretty empty. I have a little crinkler that squeezes out every last drop of paint and really crimps it down. I think I've got like maybe, I don't know, maybe a quarter of a pan, if I'm lucky, maybe a quarter of a pan left in these tubes. Some of them are pretty empty, but here we go with the replacements. And you can see that most of them are just a complete replacement of, you know, just a refill, with the exception of this one. And hopefully I like that one just as much. And then I've got these, and this is not a refill, it's an actual replacement. I know I said replacement on the other ones. The other ones were refills. And instead of the Winsor Blue Red, Winsor Blue Red shade, I'm trading that out for the ultramarine, I cannot say that word, ultramarine deep. Zoom me in a little bit. And instead of yellow ochre, I'm going to try out the cadmium yellow deep, which that's quite a big difference between yellow ochre and cadmium yellow deep, but I'm going to try it out and we'll see how I like it. And then instead of the Winsor yellow, I've got Winsor lemon. So I'm pretty excited about those changes. And if you are curious about what I did not replenish from the set that I had bought, which I will link the set that I bought. It was from Amazon, and it was a good starter set, I think, so that I could really learn what I liked and what I didn't like. But if you're curious what I will not be repurchasing more of, we've got Winsor Violet Dioxazine, Titanium White, Cerulean Blue, Burnt Sienna. I might actually end up getting more of this. I'm not completely sold on ditching this one yet. That one's kind of a maybe. Winsor Orange, red shade, I think. Yeah, red shade. Olive Green. Again, this one I probably am going to end up ordering more of. This is Raw Umber. I just didn't end up ordering more of it this time, but more than likely this will go into a reorder pile and I will get more of it eventually. And Winsor Green Yellow shade. So really these are the 6 that I will not be reordering at any point in the foreseeable future because I just did not like them that much. So I think overall that set was actually fairly useful. If you think of it as, I think it was like an 18 color set, and there's only 6 of them that I can say definitively that I'm not reordering or that I would not get again. These other 3 I am replacing with similar colors, but I didn't mind using them. They're all still beautiful colors, so I just want to try and see if I can find something I like more. These 2, I've got something that's very similar to the Burnt Sienna, which is why I didn't bother reordering it. And the Raw Umber, it's not my favorite color, but I do use it quite a lot, I realized. So this one, I'm fairly certain I will end up reordering. For some reason, it just got left out this time. All right, and then of course, these are the bonuses that, you know, just the 2 that I wanted to try, and then 2 bonus ones that came when I got this MaimeriBlu starter set. So yeah, I think I did pretty good. I'm excited. This was just a little bit of pre-planning before the tariffs change the current store pricing and everything goes up. I thought I'd better go ahead and have what I'm going to want on hand now. And I think that what I bought will probably take me through the rest of the year because there's a lot of stuff here. And then, you know, hopefully whatever's going on in the world will be starting to sort itself out by then. I don't know. We'll see how well this video ages, right? It'll either be better or worse, and hopefully it'll be better. But in the meantime, I am set for my painting stuff. So thank you so much for joining me and listening to me ramble about nonsense and art stuff. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.